Hey guys, it's Adrian VHA here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Besdersec, not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, hopefully I am, they sent me over one of their Wi-Fi PTZ cameras. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to check it out. It's not the solar powered kind like we've looked at before, so this one will need to be powered. Nonetheless, we're going to take a look at it anyway and see what all we can do with it. Here we go.
All right, so you can get the camera for about 25 bucks. Now that is depending on where you're shipping it to and how many you're going to purchase. It's still a pretty good deal. You're ordering it from AliExpress, so be patient with the shipping because it'll probably take a little bit longer. Another cool thing about this is that it comes with a 32 megapixel SD card with it as well. So if you're doing that local storage option, that's definitely a plus.
So let's do a quick run through everything we're going to cover in this video. So of course, for starters, we will go through our regular unboxing of the device. Once we do that, then of course we will get it set up in the app that goes with the camera. Once that's done, we'll go through whatever configuration options there are available to you as far as the camera goes inside the app. After that, we will get it set up in Home Assistant. And lastly, I'll just kind of show you what that looks like in action. So let's get started. All right, so here it is, Besdersec Wi-Fi smart camera. Of course, it's got tons of information on the outside of the box there, kind of detailing the various specs of the camera itself. And there, of course, it does show that it's IP66 rated for outdoor use. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. So it looks like you get, of course, your quick start guide instructions for the camera. There's your power cord. And it looks like there is a network cable option as well. So this will handle Wi-Fi, or you can plug it into your network. So that's pretty cool. Mounting screws to, of course, mount this thing outside wherever you're going to install it. Down on the bottom there is, of course, where you put the micro SD card. And that's pretty much it. It's got the two antennas. Basically the same design as that Solium camera that I showed a few months back. So it looks like almost the same kind of setup as that one. It'll be interesting to see, you know, if the app is pretty much the same as well. I don't know. All right, so we're going to get this thing set up in the camera app. When you plug it in, you can kind of go through this here. It kind of lights up and it actually starts talking to you, so you can kind of hear it here.
System starting up. Wait to be configured.
The name of the app is ICSee. I'm not sure. So we just installed it. We'll scroll down through the privacy statement, and then of course it wants you to log in. I'll kind of fast forward through this and create an account here. All right, so of course we're now logged in. We'll hit that plus up in the top corner. We're adding a Wi-Fi camera. And one thing, as you can see it noted here, it says that it will only support the 2.4 gigahertz. So if your SSID is not running on 2.4 and it's running on 5, it won't work. So you'll need to make sure you use one that does support 2.4. Something else to note isn't listed here, but you cannot have special characters in the password of your Wi-Fi network. So it's kind of annoying. Mine actually did, so I literally had to go in and create a whole new SSID just for this camera with a password that would not have special characters in it, just so I could get this thing added to my home Wi-Fi network. Really annoying. That kind of sucked on that front, but nonetheless, I did create an SSID without any special characters. That way we could get this thing added. So it starts scanning. You hit this little icon in the top corner. And of course, stick this QR code in front of the camera so that it will be able to scan it. And then boom, there it is. Came up, lists the serial number out. Wants you to put in a password for the camera, so we'll create one here. This is a password that you'll want to remember for later because we'll use it when we're getting it added into Home Assistant. And then of course now you have an option to list where it is located. I don't really have a place for this camera yet. My plan is for it to go into my shop or garage before too long, once I get the electricity complete out there. So we're going to go ahead and label it garage for right now. So for device local storage, we're going to just set it to normal. And boom, there it is. It of course says garage there. It's got a default image. I will tell you that that is not what my garage looks like. I unfortunately do not have any kind of furniture like that in the garage. So that is an interesting picture for them to use as the default photo for that. All right, so I think we are ready to move on to the next step. All right, so I just kind of have this set up in my office. You can kind of see the 3D printer there in the background. We'll go through all the little settings here. If you hit the 3 dots in the corner up there, you can see what options it has available here. So there's basic settings, which allow you to change the name, and of course, if you needed to flip it upside down or reverse it side to side or anything like that, you have that option here. I will change this speaker volume, set it to maybe like 75. This thing is really loud. All right, so of course password management, that should be pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and click on Smart Alarm. So of course it does human shape detection, and you will get little push notifications if you have that enabled here where it says alarm push. Those pop up. I may end up turning that off. It is kind of annoying so far because they pop up pretty frequently, especially since I spend most of my time in my office, which is where I have this thing set up. Let's go down through here. Of course, they have storage management. It's got a 32 gig local card installed, SD card. And of course we set it to overwrite, so once it comes completely full, then of course it'll start overwriting the oldest there in that storage card. We're not going to use cloud service, so we're not even going to worry about that. Record settings, it basically tells you the max length that it will make a single video, and whether or not you want to have audio recorded with the video as well. And then of course you can change the record quality. By default it's just kind of set to normal, but there are some other options: good, better, best. Alright, so under advanced settings, not a lot of options there, but you can choose H2, let's see, what, H264 plus, or just regular H264, and then of course the one that it's currently set to is 265X. And then under network settings, if you wanted to change your Wi-Fi network, you certainly could, but of course I've already got it set up now. Certainly not going to go back through and mess with that again. It didn't like the password in my other Wi-Fi network anyway, so and then under About, of course, it's got some information related to the actual camera. Everything looks pretty normal there. And of course, if you go ahead and click on the camera, you can kind of see me standing there as I'm working through this video. If you go to the PTZ, then of course it'll move around a little bit and do some of the settings there. And of course you can set the audio on and off as well. But that's pretty much it. It is set up in the app now. Everything looks like it's working pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step and get this thing added into Home Assistant. All right, so here is the RTSP stream, as you can see listed here, as well as whatever ports that it uses by default. There's the ONVIF port and RTSP port. So all we really need to know is the IP address of the camera itself, which of course I was able to pull from my firewall router. We're going to attempt to use the ONVIF integration, which is able to be configured through the web interface here, as opposed to just your generic RTSP camera. So we'll jump over to Home Assistant here. We'll go into integrations. We'll hit the plus down in the bottom and do a search for ONVIF. And since it doesn't see the camera itself, it just sees my NVR, which I already have, we're going to go through and manually configure ONVIF device. And then, of course, we'll give it a name. Again, I'm just going to call it garage-cam. Host, this will be the IP address of the camera, and then whatever that port is that it uses for ONVIF, which we just saw in the documentation that I showed you just before this. It's 8899, so we'll submit that here. Now it asks for username and password. This will be, let's see, the username will be admin, and the password is that password that we just created whenever we added the camera. Go ahead and hit submit. All right, there it is. Let's go to the ONVIF integration. We'll click on the device there, and of course, there it is, Garage Cam Mainstream. If we click on that, of course, boom, there you can see me working on this video as I'm getting this set up. But that's it, guys. Let's jump over to that last step and we'll see it in action. Alright, so in the Loveless interface here, we're going to go ahead and create a picture glance card. We'll hit the add card here, scroll down to picture glance. You can call it whatever you want, or you can leave that blank if you don't need a name. For the camera, just look for that one that we just added, which is garage underscore cam underscore mainstream. We'll remove all the extra stuff that we do not need on here. And there it is. Everything looks good. Everything's working as you would expect it to. This camera for about 45 bucks. We could set it up outside, put it on our Wi-Fi network, and it would actually dump right into Home Assistant using the ONVIF integration. So that's pretty cool. Again, that's the end of the video, guys. So they don't have a whole lot to offer here at Besdersec, but there are a few different camera options there. I will have the link to their website in the description below, so definitely jump over there and see what all they have to offer. You, of course, can pick up the majority of those on Amazon's website, so feel free to check them out there as well. Let's do a quick run through of everything we covered in this video. So of course we started out by unboxing the device. Once we did that, we went through and set up the camera in the app on our phone. After that, we went over configuration options that were available to us. Then we got it added into Home Assistant. And lastly, I just kind of showed you what that looks like in action. I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, jump over to my spring merchandise page and check out all the Burns home automation merchandise. And again, if you're looking for VPN service, check out IPVanish. I'll have the link in the description below. You'll want to check that out and see what options they have available for you for VPN service as well. And of course, if you are interested, I'll have the link to my Robinhood account as well down there so that you can sign up through me. And of course, you and I both will get some free stock, so that's pretty cool as well. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around. Thanks.